Singapore is a small country famous for its tourist industry for a good reason. To start, spend a night at one of the most luxurious hotels, the Marina Bay Sands, with the world's largest infinity pool and world-winning cuisines. If this is out of your budget, you can find other exemplary hotels within the country. With museum memorials, parades, festivals, parks, and five-star accommodations, Singapore will be one of the most beautiful places you'll ever visit.
National Museum of Singapore is a great place to visit to learn about the history and art of Singapore. It contains exhibits and galleries that show this. It's not just for adults, but it's also for kids. It contains the Story of the Forest exhibit and 3D art natural paintings. It also contains cultural sites, for example, Dia de los Muertos. This is a beautiful view of the National Museum of Singapore at nighttime. This is the Story of the Forest exhibit. This is where kids and parents can enjoy their time looking at the beautiful trees and animals. This is an overhead shot of this museum during a celebration. This is the festival exhibit of Dia de los Muertos. This is a message of hope that was projected on a building to say that they're stronger together during this pandemic. The Kranji War Memorial is a great place to visit to learn about the history of Singapore. These tombstones contain people from Singapore that fought against the Japanese during World War II. These tombstones don't just contain people from Singapore, they also contain people from all over the world that fought in World War II. Places like the Netherlands, Great Britain, Sri Lanka, India, and many other places. This is a quote that they used to honor the people who died during World War II, and not just in Singapore, also all over the world. This is a back view of the Kranji War Memorial. This is the overhead shot of the Kranji War Memorial. This is another view of the Kranji War Memorial. These are the tombstones of people who fought in World War II in Singapore and all over the world.
Spanning a total of 250 acres, accommodating 19,000 species of plants and 13 attractions to visit, and worth a whopping $1 billion to build, Gardens by the Bay is an extraordinary garden with many things to look forward to. And we can't forget about the super trees. These super trees start at 25 meters up to the tallest one being 50 meters. There's nothing to lose when visiting this garden. These are the super trees. The Floral Fantasy is a huge flower garden where you can see many different types of flowers and it's very colorful. This is the Floral Dome with many different flowers, but instead of Floral Fantasy, they make structures with the flowers. And what we are seeing right now is the Eiffel Tower made up of flowers. This is the cloud forest, and fun fact, this forest is man-made, but it fogs up like a regular cloud forest. Including all the plant life you see in the Gardens by the Bay, you can also find very cute art structures, and this is one of their famous ones, the floating baby.
The Singapore Sports Hub is a dome-shaped structure built for the people of Singapore to participate in and watch various types of sports. This building is at the center of the city and is a very lively place to exercise and entertain. This building was made possible by the Singapore government in nearly 13 years of planning. At the center of the building is a national stadium that can accommodate nearly 55,000 people for events. Around the main stadium are other smaller stadiums for smaller event sports. There are also any kinds of sports you can think of, including football, soccer, volleyball, cricket, and rugby. Outside, there are many small trails to bike.
This is an overhead shot of the building, and you can see the Marina Bay on the side as well. You can see a panoramic view of the skate park looking at the main building, a view of the enormous national stadium that can accommodate 55,000 people, a view of the beautiful sports hub at night, a side shot of the sports hub and the skyline behind it.
The Float at Marina Bay is the largest floating stadium in the world and is a major tourist attraction in Singapore. This field is mainly used for football games, but other cultural events such as the New Year's Eve countdown have also occurred here. The location of this area is right in front of the Marina Bay. Since this float is on top of water, it took enormous efforts to put together. The amazing view of the skyline and Helix Bridge are another reason why it's a beautiful place to visit.
A side view of the float and the beautiful Marina Bay surrounding it. A beautiful view of the float at night and the skyline surrounding it. An overhead shot of the float and the city surrounding. A view of tourists looking at the float from the Helix Bridge. The beautiful Helix Bridge seen from the float at night.
One of Singapore's biggest parades, the Chingay Parade, originally known as the Chinese Float Parade, now not only for Chinese to celebrate, but for all Singaporeans and tourists. Not only has the holiday changed from a Chinese celebration, but also now adding in non-Chinese elements like Disney characters. It was first held on February 4th, 1973. It's now held regularly every New Year's. Yes, including in the Chingay Parade are always the dragons. The Chinese dragons make it the New Year celebration. This is a Disney float which is carrying Dumbo. There are now thousands of performers ready to celebrate the Chingay Parade with many in the audience.